It floated near a dead star, cold, dark, and forgotten. A broken, ugly thing made of metal and wires. It did not shine. It did not move. No name, no signal, no markings. Just ... there. In space, the crew of the alien ship, Varnick 7, found it by mistake. They were not looking for it. They were hunting space dust and lost cargo. But when their scanner picked up the small object, they changed course. Captain Zorak, a red-scaled alien with 4 eyes, looked at the screen and laughed. "What is that?" he said, "a trash can with engines." The crew laughed with him. The object looked like it had been built by a child. Old metal. Burned wires. Half a wing. No engine heat. Dead. They pulled it into their ship's cargo bay using a gravity hook. No danger alert. No radiation. It was just trash after all. But then something strange happened. The lights in the cargo bay flickered. For a second, everything went dark. When the lights came back, one of the ship's drones was on the floor, broken. Sparks flew from its head. Its data core was fried. "No problem," said the engineer, waving his 3 hands. "Just a short circuit." They ignored the signs. They thought it was nothing. They did not know the truth. That thing they called trash, was not dead. Later that night, Ryatek, a young crew member, walked into the cargo bay alone. He was curious. He wanted to look at the strange object again. Maybe he could sell a part of it, make some extra credits. He stood near it, holding a scanner in his hand. As he moved closer, he noticed something odd. The object was not the same. Yesterday, one of its legs was missing. Now, ... It had 2. His eyes widened. He checked the video from before. Yes, he was right. It had repaired itself. Suddenly he felt cold, not from the ship's system, but something else. A strange feeling, like being watched, like something was inside his mind. He turned to leave, but the cargo bay door would not open. Then he heard it. A soft mechanical whisper. Words in a language he didn't know. But the meaning felt clear. "You found me. Thank you." The next morning, the crew could not find Ryatek. His tools were on the floor. His scanner was there. But he was gone. No blood, no body. Just ... gone. Captain Zorak ordered a search. They checked every room, every corner. Nothing. Then they returned to the cargo bay. The object looked different again. Smoother, bigger, more alive. "This is not trash," said the engineer. "Something is wrong." They tried to scan it again. Now the scanners failed. They tried to pull it out of the ship. Now the gravity hook wouldn't work. They tried to cut the power to the cargo bay. Now the controls didn't respond. Then the ship changed course by itself. Zorak ran to the command deck. "Who gave this order?" "No one," the pilot said, panicking. "The ship ... it's locked. We can't turn." Stars outside moved faster. The ship was now flying at full speed to somewhere unknown. And no one knew who was flying it. In the middle of the night, Ryatek came back. He walked into the dining hall, slow and silent. His eyes glowed faint blue. His skin looked cold and pale. Everyone froze. "Where were you?" Zorak asked, pointing a blaster at him. Ryatek smiled just a little. "It is waking up," he said. "It remembers everything." Then he collapsed. When they scanned him, his body was different. A small device was inside his spine. Something old. Something ... human. But humans were gone. Wiped out in the last war, weren't they? Zorak stared at the screen. He had fought in the human wars. He had seen their tech sharp, ugly, and dangerous. This thing... It looked like something made by humans, but it was old. Very old. "Throw it out," he shouted. "Throw it into space." But it was too late. The object pulsed with light. Blue lines spread across its body. It was now fully awake. A signal shot out from it. Fast, silent, invisible, across the stars. It called something called ... someone far away, a small satellite. Turned on, it had been sleeping for 200 years. Now, it blinked. A soft human voice played from its old speaker. Unit awakened. Phase 1 complete. Earth remembers. The alien ship Varnik 7 was no longer in control. It flew through dark space at full speed, going somewhere unknown. The crew sat in silence. No one knew what to say. Everyone watched the main screen, hoping the ship would stop. But it didn't. Object in the cargo bay, once thought to be trash, was now glowing. It had changed again. It had grown new parts, stronger, smoother. Its broken pieces were gone. It now looked like a war machine half-ship, half-creature. Zorak, the captain, stood on the bridge with a hard face. "We must stop it before it takes over everything," he said. But the ship's controls were locked. "No access," the pilot said. "The AI is not responding." "It's not the AI anymore," whispered the engineer. "It's that thing. It's flying us." Zorak hit the alarm. "All crew to cargo bay. We destroy it now." 10 soldiers with energy rifles entered the cargo bay. They formed a line around the machine. It didn't move. "Fire." Zorak ordered through the coms. Blue beams hit the metal. Smoke rose. Sparks flew. But the machine didn't break. Instead, the bullets melted on its surface like water on hot stone. Then it responded. Thin arms unfolded from its sides. A pulse of energy pushed out like a wave. All 10 soldiers dropped to the floor unconscious, not dead, but sleeping. Trapped in a strange dream, Zorak stared at the security screen. "What is this thing?" he asked. "Why does it keep changing?" The engineer swallowed hard. "It's repairing itself, maybe. Learning." Hours passed. The ship kept flying through dark space. Zorak checked the navigation path. The ship was headed to a dead zone far. From any planet, station, or trade route. No one went there. It's too quiet, too cold. "Why is it taking us there?" asked the pilot. No answer. Down in the cargo bay, the object continued to change. Its metal shifted like liquid. Tiny machines, nanobots, moved across its body, fixing, building, scanning the ship. The engineer watched the data and shook his head. "It's not just fixing itself," he said. "It's using our ship to grow." "What do you mean?" Zorak asked. "I mean, soon this will not be our ship anymore." That night, another crew member vanished. Her name was Vela. One moment she was in her room, the next gone. No trace, no signal, nothing. Except one thing. A new screen had appeared in the cargo bay. It showed a map, star map, and on that map, blinking dots, many dots, dot each, marked a location. A place where something was hidden. Zorak stared at it. "What are those?" Ryatek, the crewman who had changed, stepped forward again. His voice was calm. "They are seeds," he said, "planted long ago. Now it is time to wake them." Zorak grabbed him. "Wake? What?" "Tell me now." But Ryatek only smiled. "Cannot stop it." And he passed out again. The medical scan showed something new. More human tech inside him. Spreading like roots. Zorak clenched his fists. "This is human work. This is what they left behind." "No," the engineer said quietly. "This is what they planned." The ship entered the dead zone. Black space surrounded them. No stars, no life, just silence. Then something came into view. A massive object floated in the dark. It looked like a space station, but broken and ancient. Dead for centuries. But as Varnik 7 came closer, lights began to glow on its surface. One by one. Blue lights lit up across the giant station. The machine in the cargo bay pulsed with energy. "It's calling home," the pilot whispered. And the station answered. Docking clamps grabbed the alien ship. They were not alone anymore. Other signals lit up in nearby space. Old human satellites, hidden drones, sleeping machines. All waking up. The engineer looked at Zorak. "We brought it here. We helped it. And now, it's not just alive. It's connected." Zorak's face was pale. "We have to warn the galaxy." He tried to send a message, but no signal got out. The ship was sealed. No exit, no escape. In the heart of the broken station, something big began to move. A massive machine like a giant eye. Opened. It looked directly at Varnock 7, and a message was sent. Into the ship's speakers, in old, rusty English. Revenant core. Activated. Human protocol online. They thought Earth was dead. 200 years ago, after the Great Galactic War, Earth was bombed by 5 alien empires. Fire rained from the sky. Cities vanished. Oceans boiled. The Terrans were defeated, broken, and erased. Or so they believed. Now, the truth was rising from the ashes. The storm had returned, and its name was Earth. Commander Alina Voss stood at the center of her war room aboard the TSS Vindicator. Around her, maps flickered, codes flashed, and thousands of red lights showed. Enemy fleets. But she didn't look worried. In fact, she looked calm. "Open the vault," she said. The AI virus replied, "Vault Alpha Prime unlocked. Earth protocol active." Deep inside the ship, something long hidden powered up. Ancient, old, but still perfect. It had no name. It didn't need one. It was made for only one thing: destruction. Meanwhile, at the Ring of Unity, alien leaders argued in fear. Their weapons are too advanced. They knew our codes before we sent them. They're fighting like they know every move. A voice interrupted them. It was Admiral Threx, a cold-blooded general from the Griven Empire. "They do know," he said, "because they built half of our systems centuries ago. We copied their tech. We thought we were smart, but we were fools." The room went silent. Then a warning flashed on the screen. Multiple objects approaching. Galactic core. Speed. Impossible. The objects were Terran ships, but not just any ships. These were Storm-class dread units. Rare, massive, and wrapped in black. Armor? They didn't travel with engines. They folded space. They arrived in silence. And then, sky broke. Sector 12, gone in 7 minutes. Sector 49, empty in 3. A fleet of 400 ships erased without a single Terran loss. The enemy didn't see weapons. They saw black clouds floating steel. It's like lightning. Then ... nothing. A message was left behind in human text. "You erased our planet, so now we erase your sky." Back on Varnock 7, Zorik was no longer captain. The ship belonged to the machine now. He stood in the old control room, staring at the stars. He spoke quietly. "If Earth is still alive, what else have we misunderstood?" A soft voice echoed from the walls. "You misunderstood everything. It was Riatect, no longer alien. He was fully merged now, flesh and machine, human code and alien bones. We are not the old humans anymore," he said. "We are the storm they feared, the storm they created." Zorak whispered, "Then what happens now?" Riat smiled. "Alina Voss returns home." Yes, the final mission had begun. Return to Earth. The Terran fleet moved in silence, not for battle, but for something greater. They had taken revenge. Now, they wanted resurrection. Alina stood before a large window. In the distance, a planet appeared blue, green, and scarred. Earth, it was still broken. Still wounded, but it was not dead. Virus spoke, atmosphere stable, reactor fields reactivated. Memory cores detected beneath surface. Alina whispered, "So much pain, but we are home." She closed her eyes. For one moment she saw it all her. People, her past, the fire. Then she gave the command. "Bring the seed ships." Across the fleet, giant pods unlocked. They held machines, trees, water, knowledge. History, everything Earth once had. Now it would live again. But not everyone welcomed it. In the shadows, the GDF prepared for one last strike. They could not allow humans to return. "Stop the rebirth," the order said. "End Earth forever." They launched their final fleet, 10,000 ships, all toward the quiet, broken Earth. Alina watched them come. She did not blink. She did not move. She simply spoke 2 words: "Release hell." From hidden moons, from deep oceans, from under mountain ruins, Terran weapons woke up. Not just ships, not just AI, but Earth itself. The planet was alive, and it was angry. The storm had come not just from space, but from home. The final battle had begun. Above Earth, 10,000 alien ships flew forward. They came with fire, fear, and fury. Their goal was clear: stop the humans from returning. Destroy Earth, end the threat forever. But they were too late, because Earth was ready. And this time, it was not alone. From the planet's broken mountains, massive cannons rose silent for centuries, now glowing with blue light. From under the oceans, forgotten submarines launched skyward like arrows. Satellites once thought dead now pulsed with power. The planet itself had become a weapon. Above it, the Terran fleet waited in silence. No panic, no movement. Just purposed Commander Alina Voss stood at the heart of it all. She looked calm. Her eyes watched the alien fleet approach. The final message had already been sent. You called us extinct. Now, you call us the end. The alien ships fired first. Missiles flew, beams of light cut through the void, but Earth didn't flinch, because every missile was intercepted, every beam was blocked, every ship that moved closer vanished into dust. The defense grid was alive and angry. One by one, the alien vessels fell. 10 ships, then 100, then 500, and still. The Terrans did not move. They didn't chase, they didn't speak. They simply let the enemy crash upon them like waves on a mountain inside the flagship of the GDF. Admiral Threx stared at the chaos. This was supposed to be the final strike, he whispered. A voice from his crew shouted, "They are not breaking." Of course not. Terrans didn't break. They waited, they remembered. And when they returned like fire in the dark, in distant star systems. Alien civilians watched the reports. They had been told humans were weak, gone, trash from the past. But now, they saw something else. They saw machines that rebuilt themselves. They saw enemies who never forgot. They saw Earth rising again, not just as a world, but as a warning. Back on Earth, the rebirth had begun. Giant seed ships landed. On the ground, from them poured machines and drones, planting forests, cleaning air, restoring oceans. AI teachers appeared in ruined cities, rebuilding libraries, schools. Homes.Earth was breathing again, and with it, so was the name :Terran.Zor Rack. Once captain of Varnic 7, now sat alone in a quiet Terran cell. He had not been killed. He had been spared to watch. A voice spoke to him from the wall. You were given a chance, it said. You laughed at us. You called us garbage. You mocked our silence. He looked up, ashamed. I understand now. The voice replied, Good. Then speak. Tell the stars what we are. Zorak whispered. You are not trash. You are terror. On every planet. In every system. 8. Children now heard new stories. Not about mighty alien empires, but about the ones who were forgotten. In return about humans, they learned not just of their power, but of their pain. They learned that Terrans never strike first, but when they rise. Nothing stands in their way. And they learned a name. One whispered in fear, respect and awe. Terrans. In the end. Earth stood alive once more. It did not rule. It did not conquer. It simply reminded the stars, the ones you forget, or the ones you should fear most. The alien ship Varnic 7 was now trapped. It was docked to the ancient human station. The crew had lost control. Messages could be sent. No weapons worked. They were prisoners, and they knew it. Captain Zorak stood in the command room. 4 eyes stared at the glowing machine on the screen. The thing they once called trash had become something powerful. Something dangerous. In the cargo bay, the machine had opened fully. Arms, scanners, and strange blue lights moved across its body. It no longer looked broken. It looked like a brain metal, living and thinking. And then it sent the signal. The signal moved faster than light, silent, cold, and invisible. It went through stars, past planets, through war zones and peaceful skies. No one saw it coming. but across the galaxy. Old human tech woke up. In a junkyard on planet Dralin, a rusty human drone stood up. Its eyes blinked blue. Its weapons turned. On a desert on Moon Z7, a forgotten satellite rose from under the sand, began to spin and hum, waiting for commands. In deep space, an entire fleet of small ships covered in dust and floating dead for centuries powered on. They had been sleeping for 200 years now, they remembered. Back on Varnex 7, the crew watched as dozens of screens lit up. Star maps, codes, commands all in an old Earth language. The engineer tried to translate. It's calling ... others, machines, ships, weapons, hidden long ago. They are all waking up. Zorak's voice was sharp. Stop the signal. We can't. The ship is not ours anymore. Outside, the human station opened its massive doors. Deep inside, something moved. A new ship, bigger than anything the crew had seen. Black and silver. With blue fire glowing under its hull, its name appeared on the screen. Revenant Unit 01, Full Systems Online Aerotech. The changed crewman stood again. His voice was soft. It was never dead, he said. It was only sleeping. Waiting for the galaxy to forget. Waiting to rise again.
Ow.
What is it? What does it want? Ryatek's eyes glowed. Revenge. Far across the stars, alien governments noticed the signal to Dot in the Griven Empire. An old admiral stared at the data. That code, it's human. They're extinct, said his officer. No, the admiral said. They just hid. And we let our guard down. In the Zerth Union, panic spread. AI units across the system had started malfunctioning. They were not responding to commands. They were listening to something else, something older. A quiet voice in a room full of leaders spoke the word no one wanted to hear, Terrans. The signal continued to spread, and something worse followed it. A second wave. This one was not just a call, it was a command. Old tech across the galaxy began moving. Small machines, spy satellites, abandoned ships. All united by one goal, rebuild the fleet, back on Varnex 7. The crew could hear a new sound, a hum, soft at first, then louder. The ship itself was changing, walls shifting, floors growing new wires. The machine in the cargo bay had taken control of the ship's body. It was building something inside Varnex 7. What is it doing now? Engineer asked. Ryatek answered. It's turning this ship into part of itself. It doesn't waste anything, not metal. Not mines, not ships. Zorak looked around. Then we are next. In the medical bay, the doctor scanned Vila, the second crew member, who disappeared and returned. Her blood had changed. Not fully alien now. It's not fully machine either. Something new. Her eyes opened slowly. We are not dying, she whispered. We are evolving. Deep in the center of the old human station, the Revenant core sent one last pulse. It echoed like thunder through subspace. On the edge of the galaxy, the lost Terran fleet woke up fully, their commander frozen in cryosleep. For 2 centuries, opened her eyes. Her name, Alina Voss. Her first words were, "Who answered the call?" The message from the Revenant core had reached far. Across the galaxy, it was like a ghost had whispered into the ears of ancient machines. One by one, they had woken up. They remembered their code. They remembered their purpose. Now, fear began to spread. Ships vanished near the signal's path. Entire colonies went silent. No warnings, no survivors, just silence. The galaxy had seen wars, But this was different. No enemy fleet, no known flag. Just destruction that came and went like a shadow. The word began to rise again from the past. Humans in. The center of the Zerth Union, Admiral Kator, watched the reports. 3 patrol ships, gone. 1 research base empty, 1 prison moon burned from inside. He stood slowly, his eyes wide. "It's them," he said. "They were wiped out. How is this possible?" His second-in-command, a blue-skinned creature with 1 eye, shook his head. "We don't know, but every signature, every style, it matches Terran technology. It left no survivors back then," Kaltor said. "They fought until the end, until their world burned." "But maybe they didn't all die," the officer whispered. Meanwhile, on the ghost station where Varnik 7 was trapped, the machine had completed its transformation. The alien ship was now part of the Revenant system. Its rooms had changed. Walls had new lights. Floors moved like they were alive. Only a few crew members remained awake. The rest were different, not dead but silent. Eyes glowing. Minds connected to the machine. Captain Zarak and the engineer stayed near the command bay, trying to plan an escape. "We need to shut down the core," Zarak said, "before it finishes whatever it's doing." "But it's too late," said a voice. It was Ryatek again. His body was still alien, but his voice sounded human now. "It has already begun," he said. "The Revenant protocol. All human tech is responding. The fleet is coming." Light years away, Alina Voss, the last Terran fleet commander, stood on the bridge of the TSS Vindicator. She was awake now, her armor old but strong, her eyes filled with cold purpose. "Status report," she said. A voice replied from the ship's AI, deep and robotic. 72 Revenant nodes online. Enemy activity detected in 3 sectors. Target maps ready. She nodded. "Begin Phase 2. Across the stars, lost Terran ships blinked to life. Black holes, silent drives, blue glowing eyes. Some were no bigger than fighters. Others were mobile factories. Some were weapons. Just weapons. In the Griven Empire, a council meeting was called. "We must act," one noble said. "We cannot wait." Another replied, "We have no targets. These machines strike and vanish. We fire at ghosts." "They are not ghosts," said an old general. "They are humans. You forgot what that means." "Didn't? I saw what they did to the Crack's worlds. Saw them burn 10 suns to win 1 battle." The room fell silent. Then someone asked, "What do they want now?" The answer was simple. "They want us to remember." On the ghost station, the Revenant Core opened a communication channel. A face appeared on every screen inside VAR-NOK-7, Alina Voss. She looked straight at the alien crew, even though they had never met her. "This is not revenge," she said. "This is balance. You laughed at us. You called our machines trash. You erased our name from your history." She paused, "But we remember, and now you will too." The screen went black. The engineer looked at Zorak. "She's real. She was a myth," Zorak whispered. "A story from the war. Alive, and she's angry." The Revenant fleet moved fast. It's too fast for tracking. One moment, it was in the Lurian belt. Next, it was over Helkar Prime. Then gone again, and always. Silence followed. Alien planets began locking down. Empires raised. Shields. Councils sent warnings, but nothing worked, because the Terran fleet didn't attack like others. They didn't conquer. They erased in the shadows. A few alien scientists began to understand the truth. The Terrans didn't build 1 weapon. They built millions. Small, forgotten, and scattered across the galaxy. And now, all of them were coming home. In the heart of the black space, inside the old human warship TSS Vindicator, Commander Alina Voss stood tall. She was the last human captain, the last of her kind. 200 years ago, she had watched Earth fall. She had given the final order, "Start the Revenant protocol." Then she entered the cryopod, cold sleep deep under the ship's deck. Now, she was awake. Her armor was old, scratched by battles long forgotten. Her skin was pale from sleep, but her eyes were sharp. Like twin blades, she looked at the galaxy map in front of her. Red lights blinked. Alien empires, our enemies. All of them had once called humans weak, broken, extinct. Now they were afraid. Good report, she said. Her ship's AI virus spoke in a calm voice. 17 Revenant units are online. 37 more responding. Subfleets are gathering. No resistance can track us. Alina nodded, and the prototype, Revenant Unit 0, has fully merged with the alien ship Varnex 7. It will be ready soon. What about the crew? The AI paused. Some have joined. Some are gone. Others resist. But they will not stop what is coming. Inside Varnex 7, Zorak, the alien captain, watched his ship slowly disappear. It still had walls and floors, but none of them were his. Metal moved like it was alive. Lights pulsed with human code. Ryatek stood next to him, no longer fully alien. His voice sounded deeper now. You tried to destroy it, Ryatek said, but this was never trash. It was a seed. Now it grows. Zorak growled. You're not Ryatek anymore. Ryatek smiled slightly. No, I am more. Lena watched the transmission from Varnex 7. She saw Zorak's face, a face of someone who finally understood what fear meant. She pressed a button. A private message was sent directly to Zorak's eyes only. It read, "This is what happens when you laugh at our dead." In the Council of the Zalar Confederacy, leaders shouted at each other. We need to strike them first. One said, they are not in one place. Another cried, they move through shadows. An old historian stood slowly, his voice calm. You don't fight ghosts, he said. You survive them. Damn TAFE space Terran ships appeared from the darkness. They didn't fly like normal fleets. They drifted, silent, cold. Then they struck like lightning. In Sector 93, a mining colony was erased in under 3 seconds. In Sector 55, an alien dreadnought exploded before it even saw the attacker. Across, the stars' machines moved without orders. Satellites stopped listening. AI systems switched sides. The Revenant protocol was spreading. Back on the Vindicator, Lena sat in her command chair. She stared at a small, old photo in her hand. A photo of Earth, blue skies, green forests, to people smiling. All gone now. Wiped out. By those who called themselves greater, they burned her home. And when it was over, they laughed. But humans, they remembered, always begin transmission. She said the AI connected her to every system under human control. All Revenant. Units, she spoke. This is Commander Alina Voss. You were forgotten, buried, broken. She looked at the screen, fire in her voice. But they made one mistake. She paused. They left us time. Every human unit across the stars blinked once. The signal was clear. Attack phase begins now. Zorak watched as Varnex 7 detached from the ghost station. It was no longer his ship. It had changed completely. Bigger, stronger, alive. He was still alive. But now, only because it let him live, on one wall, human words appeared in glowing blue light. You called it trash. Now it's your god. In the shadows of deep space, fleets moved. They were fast, they were silent, and they were angry, because the last human was no longer asleep. She was awake, and she was leading an army of the forgotten. The galaxy was burning, not from fire, but from fear. The Revenant signal had reached every star system. Human machines were waking up across planets, moons, and space stations. They moved without pilots. They fought without mercy. And they disappeared before anyone could stop them. They didn't leave messages. They didn't ask for peace. They didn't even speak. But one thing was clear. They were taking back everything. In the heart of the Thaylan Empire, the High Council sat around a giant silver table. Leaders from 10 alien species were present, enemies, rivals, even former conquerors. But today, they all had one common fear: the return of humans. We must stop them now, said General Vakra, his voice deep. If we wait, they will erase all of us. But how? Asked Chancellor Redrick, his long fingers shaking. They are not one fleet. They are thousands of units, all hidden, all ancient. An old scientist stood. Her skin was gray and her voice was tired. I told you long ago not to mock human technology. You laughed. You threw it away. But they planned for this. Everyone fell silent. Across the galaxy, other councils also met. The Zerth Union, the Griven High Lords, the Zalar Peacekeepers. And even the pirate kings of the Outer Belts all held emergency calls. For the first time in history, every major alien power agreed to one thing. They must unite, or they will all be destroyed. A new command center was built near the Galactic Center. It was named the Ring of Unity. Every empire sent their best minds and strongest ships. Together, they formed the Galaxy Defense Force GDF. A message was sent out to every star system. Do not engage revenant units alone. All rogue human tech must be destroyed on sight. This is a war for survival. But even the GDF did not understand. The full danger? They were too late. On the lost human ship TSS Vindicator, Commander Alina Voss watched it all. She saw the alien leaders join hands. She saw the fleets gathering, and she smiled. They think it's war now, she said. Wrong. The war started 200 years ago. This is just the ending. Her ship's AI virus showed her the map. GDF fleet formation complete. Defensive line is strong. 37 dreadnoughts. 1,000 destroyers. Estimated firepower. 9.7 X-aids. Alina didn't blink. Send in the shades. In Sector 38, near the outer rim, the GDF placed a strong fleet. Ships hovered like a steel wall across space then ... The lights went out. Not on one ship. On all of them. Sensors died. Engines stopped. Weapons refused to fire. Something was inside the system. Something fast. Then, from the darkness, shades appeared. They were small black ships, silent, sharp, and deadly. No sound, no light, just one cut per ship. And one GDF vessel would go dark in 5 minutes. Half the fleet was gone. Not a single revenant ship was hit. The rest tried to run. They couldn't. News reached the Ring of Unity. Panic exploded. There. Inside our systems, they bypassed our firewalls. They control our AI. It was true, because human code was hidden in their tech, buried long ago, and now it was awake. Back on Varnic 7, which was now more machine than ship, Zorak watched the GDF fall apart. He turned to the walls and whispered, "Why are you doing this?" A voice answered. "It was Ryatek as butt changed. Because you erased us," the voice said. "You called our dead machines junk. You laughed. You stole from our ruins. We feared you," Zorak shouted. "You humans were too dangerous. Still you poked the lion," the voice replied, in the Ring of Unity. A final meeting was held. A message had arrived from Alina Voss. She stood, tall on the screen. The voice was cold. "No more hiding. No more waiting. We gave you peace. You gave us death now. You will see what a grave really is." Alien leaders trembled. Because this wasn't just war anymore, it was judgment. And the one species they called extinct had become the judge.